Our strawberry sherbet is just about done. Let's take it out of the machine. Oh yes, it's lovely. In the early 1970s, Tennessee Williams emerged from a haze of alcohol and drugs to publish a new collection of short stories called Eight Mortal Women Possessed. The most ribald of these was called Miss Coynte of Greene, and I suppose you could say it was Tennessee Williams' way of addressing race relations in the South. It got a terrible review by Edmund White of the New York Times, who called it a tale best told over cigars and brandy, and was repellent in the bright light of the printed page. Well, let history judge whether Edmund White or Tennessee Williams was the better author. The tale centers around a spinster of about 30 years of age who takes on a series of black lovers who all die from overexertion. In this age of recurring white nationalism that we haven't seen in many years, I think it's interesting to go back and compare times in the 70s when a more enlightened spirit seemed to be about. It's actually funny that this is set in the town of Greene, Mississippi, spelled G-R-E-E-N-E, not unlike the last name of a certain congresswoman. On the day the story opens, Miss Coynte is taking care of her invalided mother, who's a big woman that never gets out of bed even to answer the call of nature. Therefore, her daughter has to change her soiled sheets all day long. In one of the final exchanges, the evil mother is talking about some gossip she'd heard where the fattest woman in town, whose name was Dottie Reagan, had a coronary and nearly squashed the town fairy who was her companion. Now, Miss Coynte was not mean like her mother, so she felt sorry for both the fairy and Dottie Reagan. The mother was in no good mood that morning, and she screamed at her daughter, "Bring me a bowl of strawberry sherbet." Those turned out to be her very last words. You'll have to read the story. Depending upon the circumstances, Miss Coynte referred to her mother as either mère or merde. But she kept a stash of strawberry sherbet around, and that is very easy to make. You see, I've got some strawberries in a blender here, and we'll just add a little bit of water, and then we'll turn that on and puree it. The puree then just needs to be put through a fine mesh strainer. The second component is a simple syrup made half sugar, half water in equal proportions, brought to a boil. I put some hibiscus blossoms in there to give us some color, given that the strawberries are a little bit faded this season. And of course that's going to make it a lot sweeter too. The only tricky part is making sure you get the right proportion of simple syrup with the strawberry puree. And generally you can test that whenever you get an egg to float. It's just a raw egg, then you'll know that it's enough. As you can see, it wasn't, so we'll try some more. Let's try again. Ah, and it's floating. There you go. This now goes into an ice cream maker, and then it will churn until it's a sherbet. We'll put a little quenelle of that in. And in honor of Miss Coynte of Greene, I think 2 chocolate bonbons would do well.